Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Abby, and today I have a lot to get done in the garden area today. But before I do that, I have to set up this pool. I promised the kids to set up the pool. It's a very hot, there has been a very hot week actually, and I'm just setting up the pool for them to play while I do my work. And when I finish set up these guys, I'll get back with you guys. Okay, so these guys are happy. I had to make a makeshift shelter from the sun. It really was too hot and they really wanted to come outside, so I don't have a tent, so I just took a big piece of cloth that I had and I draped it so that they'll be protected from the sun. Now guys, I have a really good announcement that I want to share with you guys, and that is we got turkeys. I must admit, when I got these turkeys for the first time, I was super nervous because all my research pointed to the fact that turkeys die so easily. And my experience with chickens, baby chicks, um, is that, it's so easy for them. One day they look good and the other day, they're dying. So I was super nervous about that when I got these baby turkeys, whether I would be able to keep them alive. But the nursery that I got these, not the nursery, the hatchery that I got these from, gave me really good tips on how I could avoid issues with my turkeys. Hold on 1 second. They're fighting for the hose. I'm going to be interrupting this video on and off because they're playing in water, and you could never be too careful, and I don't want that happening to my kids. So with all that said, the hatchery that I got these toms from gave me really good tips on how to keep them alive. And I find they're really good. They actually did St. Mary's Hatchery in Moruga, which is quite south, the southest you can get of the island, super far place from where I live. But they were so gracious to be able to meet me in the airport area to allow me to get these two turkeys. I'm really so far happy with their assistance with having these turkeys so far. Now, they sent me a really long text. Well, not really long, a really quite informative text on how to keep these turkeys happy, and it has been working for the last 4 weeks. So these turkeys are estimated to be about 5 weeks old, and at the end of this week, I will be putting them on the outside for exposure to outside elements, because right now they're inside our little apartment, and I've been keeping them away from breeze and all that stuff that was recommended. So it was recommended, we don't have heat lamps, we can use 100-watt bulb. My husband made up this nice contraption here on this dog crate that we had, and it has been keeping them quite warm. They like to sleep right under that light. They make the cutest sound. It's so cute. It's the first time I've ever had turkeys. So I'll let you guys know what their names are. I've named them Turks and Caicos. Keeping in harmony with the theme of Caribbean charm. If you've ever been to Turks and Caicos, you would know that Turks and Caicos is an absolutely gorgeous place, and I have nothing short in expectations as how these guys are going to grow. So the smaller turkey is Turks, and the larger one is Caicos. Hi Turks and Caicos. Say hi everybody. So this is Caicos. He's the larger one. And this is Turks. I love them so much. And they've been doing good. They've now been getting their feathers. They've been, adjusting. I've had them for 4 weeks and they have doubled in size already. So what I have been feeding them is just a regular um, starter feed that we get here in the Caribbean, and I've been mixing. Just yesterday I started mixing cracked corn into their diet in order to give them a bit of carbohydrates to help them grow. Now it is recommended to give them it in moderation so that I don't create like obesity issues in the birds. So, at least twice a week I plan to give them the cracked corn, and other than that, just the starter feed until they're ready to, at the 8 week mark, I think it is, not too sure, I have to check back the email. The 8 week mark to switch them over to growing feed. So it's really important that turkeys have a high protein diet because, their body mass, they really need that protein in order to grow. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So I've been loving having them so far, Turks and Caicos. And as I get to the processing stage, I will definitely share with you guys how that goes and what my experience is in raising my own turkeys. So this is the plan. The plan is to raise the 2 turkeys for the year 2024. And after these turkeys, I'm hoping that I can get my husband on board in at least trying to raise 20 meat birds at a time, at least twice for the year, at the beginning of the year and at the end, so that we can stop buying chicken as well. Caicos. Oh no, Turks. I'm confused. Who are you? So they're really, really nice animals. They love to be cuddled. They loved. They like being. They're not like chickens where they're super flighty. And careful, careful. One thing though, they're super messy. They make the dog crate super wet, and I'm not too sure why, but they do that. Oh my god. Get off of me. Okay guys, so I'm going to clean up this dog crate now because it's super wet in there. It's important to keep the brooding area nice and clean and dry. Okay, you want to get down? Get down. You go explore the world. Yeah, so my plan is to grow these guys and get the children exposed to having animals of different types. I'm going to take this outside and get this all cleaned up, and I'll pick you guys back up on my next chore because I really have to. The garden is now dead, not dead, but it's unproductive. The heat has totally reduced that production level to nothing. Well, to say nothing, I don't want to be ungrateful. To 15% if I was to put a percentage to it. So we're going to pick what's there in the garden and we're going to rip out all those plants, and we're going to amend all the pots and growing containers and the garden space and leave it a while so that at the end of, well, in the middle of September, that I can start planting the next flush of things for, the next crops. Okay, so the turkey chores are all done, and we're going to start on the next gardens. Everybody's having fun. nice and cool. So we're going to get started on ripping out the different things that need ripping out in the garden. I'm going to start upstairs here with the Christophine. So since I sprayed the garden, I did it twice so far, I've been having new growth happening. So they're all, the Christophine, it needs some water right now. You can see everybody's stressed out. But it's starting over. It had reshooted from the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out all these curled leaves at the top so that the plant doesn't have to, you know, use too much energy to support that, and allow the new growth to, you know, start again and go from there. I also have a bit of harvesting to do. I have the green eggplants. I have a couple that I need to pick. Some are quite overripe. This one is gone dull, but that's okay. I'm roasting all of them in the oven, and I will be freezing them for later use. So I'm going to get started on that. I also have the okras. They're all completely died back, so I'm going to rip out all except this one here that has a lot of pods on the top, because I have no more okra seeds, and so I'm going to leave that to dry on the tree. But I'm going to rip out majority of the other plants before okay guys, so it's a bit too hot. No, let me pause the music. Echo, pause. So it's a bit too hot outside, and I took everybody out and they're both napping right now, so it's nap time. And so I'm about to use some leftover dough that I had left over to make a favorite of theirs. My kids, they love cinnamon roll, so I make it quite regularly. And I used to use sweet dough to make cinnamon rolls, but I no longer do that. So I just use the same dough that we use to make bake. West Indian people will know what I'm talking about. But you know, as I mentioned in previous videos, we like our dough soft. And I leave this at least for about 3 hours to rise. That allows the dough to become even more soft and flavorful. So what I have here is some leftover paste, which is butter, sugar, cinnamon, and a little bit of vanilla to make the cinnamon roll. So I'm going to put that together for them so that when they wake from their nap, they will have their favorite snack, and it will give me time to get dinner together. So now this dough is just enough to make about 4 cinnamon rolls. I try not to make too much at the same time because, you know, that's weight maintenance. You don't want them to get obese. So when these 4 are over, they know, okay, well, they won't have any more for the day. And we'll make another snack for tomorrow. So you grease your pan well. I'm quite liberal with my butter because I do not put fat in my dough. I usually put it when I'm finished kneading it. On the outside, I might put olive oil, mostly olive oil, while I'm leaving it to poof. So nothing fancy about it. Scoop out the remaining of my stuff. It's a bit solid because it was in the fridge. I'm not too concerned about it because We live in a hot place, so while it's proofing, I know that the yeast won't have an issue tapping into the sugars in this paste. Now we're getting in the habit of making, yes, when we go out we buy stuff, but we're getting into the habit of making the things that we like to eat. My kids love donuts and they love cinnamon rolls, so I'll be making a lot of those from scratch. They're quite more tasty, and you're a little bit more guilt-free because you can control the amount of sugar. It's not overly sweet desserts or snacks. Yeah. So yes, it's not it's not what you would see in a recipe book, but it gets the job done. It keeps the kids happy. It keeps me happy. So just roll it up, pinch. I try not to use too much flour because I don't want my dough to get stiff. Put this in the sink. But sometimes, just to get it a little bit more pretty, I might use some flour. But for now, I'm happy as it is. Okay. So now I'm just gonna gauge. Yeah, that looks great. So when you're cutting it, you don't want to just clamp down. You want to slice into it so you can allow the swirls to remain on the edges. So if you are a person who are like my kids who love a nice gooey cinnamon roll, like the Cinnabon cinnamon rolls, one of the tricks are to, after allowing these to rise, you take some, people use heavy cream, but that's too expensive for us. We can't afford that. So I just use evaporated milk, and I pour a good amount in the pan itself when it's baking. So when I'm about to put it in the oven, I will show you guys how I do that. If I was to give a measurement for this size pan, I would say 1/4 cup of evaporated milk. What that helps me eliminate, it helps me eliminate having to use frosting, and it helps me to eliminate using like, you know, cream cheese or anything like that. So it's like a poor man's cream cheese, if you will. Again, cinnamon roll. Come. Sorry about that. If you were to bake your cinnamon roll in milk, just know that you will just have 1 day of consuming it, because of course, you know, with our humidity, things will go bad faster. So if you're doing that, be sure to consume it within 1 day. Here you go. Here you go, Gio. Hot stuff. What do you say? What do you say, Jazz Jazz?
Thank you, Mommy.
Okay guys, so it's 5:30 and to be honest with you, I'm exhausted, but I really need to get these tasks that I allotted for each day done. The reason why is because school is starting back in a couple days, and because I'm homeschooling, I need to have everything organized so that nothing gets in the way of school. So this chicken pan needs to be cleaned out so I can get all that composted material to put into those pots and planters to amend the soil and keep everything nice and fed, and hopefully when I'm ready to plant again, the plants will do exponentially well. So let's get to it. So this is quite a bit, quite a heap, and I also have some inside the bucket there already. So this should be enough to help me amend all the pots and planters that I have. And after amending those things, I will give this about a grace period of about 2 to 3 weeks before I start planting again. And hopefully when I do plant again, I will be more successful in planting in pots. Until the next time, guys, I really am enjoying my yard steading. It's truly who I am at heart. What I'm not enjoying is the heat, the humidity, but it's all part of it, all part of the package. If you're like me, guys, and you have a small space, you really can do a lot in that small space with proper planning and with motivation and determination. So a lot of things will go wrong, you know, when you're starting to learn things. Like for instance, you guys remember when I got chickens for the first time, I had a lot to learn. I am now on my third batch of chickens. The first batch was good. Then I got a second batch which killed the first and the second batch, and now I'm on my third, and we're about to get our fourth. So as we continue learning and expanding and finding new ways to diversify income. Diversifying income doesn't necessarily mean money coming in, but it also means halting the money going out. So, guys, we'll talk some more about it at another time. But for now, I want to give you guys a hearty, hearty good night. And I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. Bye.